So please give a warm welcome to our final speaker of the night.
So if you don't get one of those by the end of the night, shame on you.
It's true. Open for business. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. And honestly, looking around this room, really honored. There are some women in this room that I've known most of my life, including Kim, who I've truly looked up to, honored, and respected as the women who have kind of paved the way for the women in my generation. And funny enough, my mom is really one of those people, and she'll pop into the story. So I love how so many times, like, as these things happen, they just kind of weave into each other, because I got so much from both of those stories, and I have a feeling they're gonna pop into this one. But, so I was raised Catholic. And throughout most of my childhood, went to Catholic school, went to PCD, or went to St. Phil's, and then my freshman year, I went to the Abbey, and at one of the masses, one of the fathers, Father Edmund, was giving a sermon about abortion. And it was a moment that kind of clicked for me, because I had kind of been feeling my own feelings about the Catholic religion for a while, and I just had a moment of being like, you know what, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. And spent the next couple of years just kind of honestly going into a little bit of anger and resentment about what I'd been taught was right and wrong. And then in 2012, I was at Pharmaesthetics. I was their boutique manager, kind of doing their aesthetics and retail management. And in walks this really tall, big, kind of like rosy-cheeked, white-haired man with really dirty worker man hands. But he's got this huge smile on his face. I'm like, who is this dude coming into a Pharmaceutical skincare boutique? I'm like, hi, welcome. And he was so sweet. He comes up and he introduces himself and he says, hi, my name is Will. And I'm the master jeweler over at 3 Golden Apples next door. And instantly we had a connection. We started chatting and talking about who he was and what he did and what he loved. And he showed me one of the pieces that he was working on, and it was this beautiful gold medallion with a sun and an Om symbol in the middle. And he showed it to me, and he told me why it was so important to him. He told me about the interconnectivity of all things. He told me about the thing that connects everything is love. And it was this moment where I was like, honestly, it hit me so much that I almost started crying as soon as he told me, because it was the thing that I'd always known to be true, but I just hadn't opened yet. And it was this deep knowing that love, the thing that connects everything, the thing that is everything, was the religion I had been looking for. And fast forward a year, March 2013, and my mom texts me, and she texts me, oh my God, Emily, it's an emergency. And take it with a grain of salt, because an emergency for my mom is sometimes like, oh my God, I'm in my closet and I really need you to come and figure out what I need to get rid of. Or like, oh my God, like I just bought this shirt and I don't know if it works. You know, like, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I'm like, okay, emergency, I don't have to call her right now. She calls me, and she's like, I just met this guy, and he is just perfect for you. He's everything that you need. I had a conversation for like 45 minutes, and she told me all about the conversation, every little detail, and I'm like, okay, but you know what? I had a feeling. I was like, all right, this feels kind of good. So this guy and I go out on our first date, and we go and we walk our dogs, and he's got this like super cute, chubby, short little bulldog that's like, you know, having a hard time, I'm not gonna lie. And I have this cute little 2-year-old rescue that I just got that's like a lab pit mix. And we go for this walk, and we start talking, and it's just like this effortless connection, this effortless flow. And we walk so long that I think his poor pit bull is about to keel over. I think he was sore for like a week after that. But we didn't want to stop walking. We didn't want to stop being with each other. So we started cultivating this relationship, and it was unlike anything I had experienced. it was so true and so full, and it was also so timeless. Like there was just this connection that felt like we'd known each other and loved each other forever. And within a week, I think we said I love you. Within a month, we knew we were going to get married. And it was just this certainty that lived in the love that we had for each other. This certainty that I was like, there was just no question about it. And we kind of cultivated this and grew into it, and also at the same time, because of that certainty, because of that love, because of the knowing that I had inside of myself, I when a couple months into the relationship, the intimacy started to kind of like lessen a little bit. I didn't think twice about it. I was like, we got this. We got this. It's fine. Our love is strong enough to deal with anything. I didn't even think about it. I was like, we can fix this because I'm a really good fixer. I can fix this. And it was through that kind of like knowing of our love that I just kind of kept staying with it. And slowly, this kind of like sinking, kind of suffocating feeling kind of happened. Because for me, sex and physical intimacy, it's like a part of who I am, but it's also a really important part of how I know I'm loved, and especially back then. Back then, to me, it was like, if a man wants to sleep with me, then it must mean that he loves me. That's the subconscious thought, right? Like that's the thought way back there that says, okay, if he wants me that way, he must want me in other ways, right? And it was also this way that I had kind of figured out my self-worth. It had become a way that I had figured out that I was loved. And it's also just this innate part of who I am, this way of connecting deeply with another human being. But I hadn't quite figured out how that worked when the partner, the man that I had chosen to spend my life with, the person who's supposed to love me the most, didn't want me that way. And to be honest, it crippled me. It crippled me. And it like suffocated a part of me that burned so passionately, but without oxygen, it just died. It just started to die, and I just kind of had to suppress it. And as we started kind of working through it, what I realized, and there's so many ways that we do things for love. Like, we all want love. That's the thing that we all really want, right? It's the thing that we're all kind of going for. And so we do all these things for love. Like we stifle parts of who we are for love. We have sex for love and we don't really want to. Or we don't have sex sometimes we really want to for love. Or we take on all the responsibility of everything for love. Or we maybe blur our boundaries a little bit for love. And what Will, my amazing Will, who was at Farm Aesthetics and came in that day to talk to me about this interconnectivity, this love as a belief, not just a feeling, what he always brings me back to and what he holds me in, and honestly, I see him in my mind all the time, is this knowing that love is so much more. It is so much more than just a feeling. It is so much more than thinking that my worth is attached to sex. It is so much more than me having to be something for someone. And he also taught me, and his service, so if you don't know Will from the Golden Apples, 3 Golden Apples, he passed away. And he passed away really suddenly from a heart attack. And it was like my first spiritual teacher just got kind of ripped away from me. And at his service, everyone got to get up and speak. And they got to speak about him. And I had only known him for a couple of months, but I was just really called to get up there, and I did. And then the man right after me got up, and he had only known him for a week. For 1 week. And this man verbatim repeated everything that was in my heart about how special Will was, because he had this amazing ability to just open people up to the expansiveness of love just by sharing love, just by sharing about what it meant for him. He profoundly, profoundly impacted my life, and obviously so many other people, if they were willing enough to stand up in front of a group of people they didn't know and talk about him. And that gift of that connection into spirituality, into what love is, to open me up, to actually allow in Dan, my ex-husband, who came in and allowed me to feel all these feels. And eventually, after therapy and coaching and kind of working through and tirelessly trying to fix the intimacy issues of our marriage, we eventually chose together that we needed to end our marriage. And as heartbreaking as it was also this beautiful showing of love. A love and a transition that I would not have been able to go through the way I did without what Will had given me. That first ignition back into my soul of what it actually means, what love really means. And since then, it's been 3 years since I've been divorced now, which is crazy to me. It's 3 years went by like that. But those 3 years were the most vivid, alive, experiential, crazy, passionate, love-filled years of my life. And my divorce gave me that. You know, like I always say that my ex-husband, he kind of soothed the part of me that was always seeking someone to fill that void inside of me, someone to fill that part of me that wanted to be complete, the man that would just see me and love me and make me feel like I was the perfect person in his life forever, because that's what we think it's going to be forever. And what he soothed in me, in giving me that, you know, having that moment in that marriage and that closeness and that beautiful soul connection that wasn't meant to last forever, but it did last for a part that it was meant to. What he gave me was this beautiful gift of coming back to what I was really looking for, which was me. It was so truly me. And the past 3 years have been just the coolest freaking ride. Oh my God, they've been so cool. And Will's been hanging out with me the whole time, and he's been holding my hand, and that is what love is. That is what love really, truly is. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not all compassion and goodness. It's everything. My favorite quote is from this book, Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. And in the book, God says that perfect love is to feeling as perfect white is to color. Many think that perfect white is the absence of color. It's not. Much like love, or much like the color white, love is the existence of all color, of all feeling. Hatred, anger, resentment, jealousy. It is the summation of all feeling. The sum total, the aggregate amount. Love is everything. And it came and it brought me back to this amazing awareness that me seeking that person, that love outside of myself to come and make me feel whole, or even this idea that I had about love being just this loving, beautiful rainbow of goodness all the time, which it is, but it's also the shit. It's also the hard stuff. It's also the wounds of divorce, of heartbreak, of losing my spiritual teacher, of losing friends, of the wounds that we go through life collecting. Because we collect them. And then love is the thing that kind of takes it and creates it and makes it the thing that we offer to the world. The thing that we are uniquely gifted to be able to give to the world from that pain, from that wound. It is the sum total of everything. It allowed me to come back to this place of knowing that I don't have to try and be perfect, which as a Virgo, I really love to try and do. I really love to try and be perfect. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna try really hard to do it in this too, because I was like, I just gotta memorize every single word. And then I was like, no, not really. But it really is, like, it's the part of me that wants to be the perfectionist. Can I meet that with love? Can I meet the part of me with love that is really scared of being judged sometimes? Can I meet the part of me that doesn't feel like enough? Can I meet the part of me that's pissed at my mom sometimes? Can I meet the part of me that's not always compassionate and doesn't always see that my partner might need something? And my wonderful boyfriend Adam sent me something this morning actually on Instagram that was like literally, I mean, he must have dropped it right in from source because it was like the perfect ending to this. It was an Instagram post that said, "How's your love life?" he said. She said, "Wonderful. My whole life is love." And that to me was just like this culmination of everything. The culmination that love is everything. So of course love is all that matters, but it's just not always what we think it is. It's not always gonna be sunshine and rainbows. It's not always gonna feel warm and fuzzy. Sometimes it's gonna hurt. And most of the time, the hurt is what leads to the birthing of something amazing. So, I love you all.